Hello, Leo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Leo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Leo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And look at that radiant sun. This is beautiful. This is health and vitality. This is supreme joy and happiness and superabundance. Yeah. And this is the first card, the station. This is your experience of yourself. This is your subjective experience. You know that you're a radiant sun. You are luminous. And I think you're feeling luminous. You're feeling healthy and robust. It may imply that you've been either sick or injured or ill or kind of your light's been a little bit dim in the past. We'll find out. But now there is this surge of vital energy. There is this luminosity, this very vibrant, bright light coming off of your aura right now. You are a shining star, okay? This is a card of enlightenment. This is a card that says you know who you are and you know why you're here. And I think that you have a particular confidence about you. You are glowing and radiant right now. Let's see what you're doing in life, yeah? Let's put some context around this card. Where are you kind of experiencing this luminosity and this clarity? And what is challenging that clarity, or what is the obstacle to that clarity? Well, here's a pressure cooker. Yeah, this is a situation where you are really shining. It's a challenging thing, but you're the star of the show. Okay, this might be at work, at home, at school. This might be a sporting event. You're the all-star. And it's a very challenging situation. It's a pressure cooker. Okay, it's a challenging situation, but you are the all-star here. Here we have a Knight of Cups, the 10 of Wands. Look at that. We have a 3. Yeah, okay. The 3 of Swords. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, my goodness. Yes, this is good. This is really good. We have a 3 of Wands. A 6 of Wands. We have a little Princess of Swords. We have an 8 of Cups there at the end. You do have a tendency toward melancholy. You have a tendency toward, you're not always so optimistic, are you? You're not always so vibrant and alive. I think sometimes you kind of feel, you get down in the dumps like anybody, you know. But I think right now your light is shining. And I think that you are, you're healing from, I do feel with the 3 of Swords and with the 8 of Cups that you were either, you had an injury or an illness recently that you recovered from. And if you were sick, you had allergies or something like that, or maybe you maybe you broke a bone or something along those lines, but you've healed from that. And I think your vital energy is restored. You are like literally the all-star here somewhere in your life. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here with Dwight K. Schrute right on top. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Yeah. Now, as we look around the room, major. We got fire, good fire. We've got some water. We've got some air. We don't have any earth cards because it's not really about what you're doing. It's about how you're doing it, really. And it's a little bit about the why, but mostly about how. You're doing it with such solar confidence, right? You really believe in yourself right now. And I think that you're very clear about what's required of you. I think that you have such, with these two cards, it's kind of like you're not scared of the challenge that you're facing right now. Whatever the pressure cooker is, whatever the blacksmith's anvil kind of, aspect of life is for you right now, you're not scared of it because you know that this is where you belong. You know that this is what you're supposed to do. There is a calm and clear confidence. Yeah. Like you know who you are, you know why you're here. And so you're in this situation, and as challenging as it may sometimes be, as much effort as you have to put into this, I think that you know you belong, and you know that you're succeeding at it. Okay. So this is, if it's a work thing, work might be very difficult right now, but you feel like everything is in harmony. Like things are just working. You're putting in the effort. Yeah, level 10 effort. You're putting in a tremendous amount of time, effort, energy, and or money. Okay? But it just feels like everything you touch right now, every movement of your muscles, right? Every exertion of your vital energy is creating success. You have a very interesting opportunity right now, Leo. You really do. Because we see this, that if you put all of your level 10 effort, if you put in maximum effort into something that is difficult, a challenge, and if you get into the pressure cooker, you're going to achieve success. Of course, you have to battle your own black clouds. You have to battle your own tendency toward melancholy and a little, hint of pessimism in there. Okay? I think really what you have to do is battle your boredom. When something's so easy for you, you're going to get bored. That's the risk that we have here. So I think it's very important that you find ways to keep yourself challenged, find new things. This has to be the cycle. This is all beautiful energy. We don't want it to be ruined by these storms. These are like, storm clouds that are kind of drifting into your life. If you can keep this thing going, basically keep all this energy here, and then try to just defend yourself against that, and you're going to be aces. This is literally like one of the best readings I've ever had. Because we see with the horizontal path, the fire, the effort, right? And of course, all the profit, the wheel of fortune, the jackpot. This is awesome. And if you continue to do this, find a pressure cooker, put in all of your effort, you're going to get the gold. Keep doing this. The problem with this is that if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're going to get bored. Something is going to haunt you, and you're going to end up walking away. So you're not somebody that can play the same game over and over and over again, even though you're winning. You're just going to be like, boring. You're going to want to walk away from something because you need stimulation. You need challenge. You need something that's going to arouse you and wake you up, Anyway, so that's the challenge. The card number 2 is the battlefield. It's the art or temperance card. 1, I think that this is saying don't let your ego get the best of you. Okay? Stay humble. Otherwise, you're going to disappoint yourself, right? Stay humble, but stay proud. Stay confident, but a balanced confidence, okay? The Sun card is also like, it's interesting because the pressure cooker of the Temperance card, it's kind of like there's external pressure, and the Sun is trying to exert the internal pressure so that there's equilibrium. You think of a star. A star is burning fuel, fusing together elements in its core, right? And that's creating internal pressure, light and heat, going outward. But its own mass starts to create such gravity that it's being crushed from the outside. So its internal pressure has to be equal to the external pressure so it doesn't collapse into a little white dwarf and it doesn't explode into a supernova. So we're trying to maintain that equilibrium. We're trying to find a situation again or deal with the situation. And this is, again, something that's going to repeat. It's kind of like life recommendations for you, right? Finding challenging situations that are just beyond your capacity, but not so far beyond that you're going to be crushed under the weight of them. But you don't want things that are too easy either, because then you're going to be, you're going to be bored. You're going to exert too much pressure. And you're going to be so much greater than the challenge that it's just going to be destroyed. Okay, but you don't want the situation to be so challenging, and your energy so small in comparison that you get crushed into a little white dwarf. Yeah, so it's really about finding the right challenges for yourself, the right situations, the right pressure cookers, where it's that sweet spot. It's just challenging enough that it keeps you interested, keeps you working hard, but it's not so challenging that it squishes you. Okay, and it's not so insignificant that you just you get bored with it and you end up smashing it like a little toy. Okay, it's about that kind of equilibrium. So this is something that, again, needs to keep your ego balanced in that way, in harmony, in the same way. Something that's going to be, challenging enough, keeps you humble, kicks your butt once in a while, right? But something that is, you still feel confident that you can do it. You don't want it to be too easy. You don't want it to be too hard. Basically is what I'm saying, yeah. And so this is a way that you can keep yourself in this successful flow. Whether we're talking about at work, at home, at school, life in general, or in a particular dimension of your life. I feel like this is your life philosophy. This is giving you the secret. It's probably going to be the last reading for Leo, because I feel like you're not going to need one after this. I feel like you've got the secret for your manifestation here. Down beneath the surface, you have to have your Knight of Cups too. You have to feel something about it. You can't just find something that is just challenging enough, but not too challenging, blah, 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 blah. Everything Paul said, blah, blah, blah. It has to be something you care about. The Knight of Cups wants to begin something. If I don't have a vested interest, then you're going to get bored. If it doesn't move your heart in some way, if it doesn't grip you, if it doesn't make you want to engage with it, it doesn't matter if it's the sweet spot of challenging or not. It doesn't matter how perfect the pressure cooker is. If you don't like what it's cooking, then you're not going to be interested anyway. So you're somebody that needs to have, there needs to be heart in it for you. There's got to be a purpose there. It's got to feel good inside in your spirit that gives you a reason to do it. Again, this is about the how, right? And this is the why. Why are you doing it? Because it matters to your heart. Because you believe in it, you value the work or the outcome, you value the idea of that particular pressure cooker. Okay? And if you have all of these elements and you keep these low vibrational energies in check, you've got the gold. You've got a system of manifestation here that is going to be absolutely amazing. What's with the jar of nails? Spirit Key has been telling me, the jar of nails. Why you have a jar of old nail, rusty nails or something in a jar. Maybe you do some kind of woodworking, or maybe you kind of, for home projects or something, you've got some spare nails. I don't know. And I'm seeing a reference to a pendant. It's white. It's made out of bone or something like this. You have a bone necklace. I don't know what that is. But I do know that the Knight of Cups is all about how we begin something. This is, you want to leap into something that has heart, something that feels a passion, feels like excitement, feels like love. If you don't love it, you're not going to do it. You're going to walk away. See, just because we have our Eight of Cups here in the destiny position, it doesn't mean that's your destiny. It means that if we sort of neglect or ignore the meaning of these cards, we could end up walking away and not experiencing the happiness, not experiencing the joy, and the satisfaction and all the love that we want. Okay? So we don't want to go this way, and I think really it has to do with that Three of Swords. Because Three of Swords are kind of, the opposite thing here. Three of Swords really is a card of memory. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. It's the card of how we might associate what we're doing. And that memory happens unconsciously. Because you might be feeling a certain way about your life right now, not because of what's actually going on in your life right now, but certain emotions are activated right now because of something that happened a long time ago. Because this situation appears to be very similar to a previous situation that you remember that maybe didn't turn out so well or didn't feel so good. Okay? So it may be that we really want to keep this card close at hand. It's a card of sorrow and all that stuff, yeah, but it's memory. So we have to remember what worked and what didn't work. We have to be able to separate the present from the past as well. And so in a very real way, it's saying that just because you put in the effort, you had the right kind of equilibrium, the right kind of temperance, the right pressure cooker, and this worked out glorious, wheel of fortune, expansion, profit, prosperity, and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't mean that you had the love and the passion for it. Doesn't mean that doing the exact same thing again is going to feel the same way, because the memory works both ways. This situation looks a lot like the last situation, but why doesn't it feel the same? Why do I not feel happy? Why am I bored? Why am I, because this is a new situation, right? And it may be that you're trying to repeat something that happened before and getting a different result. I mean, it's not so cut and dry. It's not so set in stone that doing the exact same thing again will give you the exact same result as before. It doesn't work that way. You can follow the recipe exactly, but your dish is going to taste different. It doesn't taste as good as it tasted last time. Why? You ever had that happen to you? Where you have just such a wonderful experience, and you have a memory. We form the memory. And then later on in life, you say, I want that feeling again. And so you do the exact same steps that you did before, but it doesn't hit the same. I don't know why it is. I don't know the answer. I'm just asking if you've ever experienced that. And I've had that with food. I've cooked something that was so delicious, and then a few months later or whatever, say, hey, you know what? I want that delicious thing again. I cook it the exact same way, but it doesn't taste the same. Because I'm different. The ingredients are different. The timing is different. The world, the universe, everything is different. There's nothing the same about it. Okay? So we have to remember that, and I think that it sort of allows us to keep the same formula, right? The same formula, but allow each situation to be a unique unit in time. And that's why we don't have any earth cards, because we're not repeating the same exact thing again. See, the earth energy, the material part of it, the appearances of things, the physical material ingredients are going to change over time. But the formula can stay the same. The major arcana can stay the same. You're going to need, it has to be something that you put in 110% effort. You have to have the right kind of balance between internal, external pressure. And of course, you have to have some passion for it. The timing has to be right. And it's going to be an explosion of bliss and joy and love and expansion. Okay. That's the formula. Now, the Ten of Wands in the background here, it's something that you give your attention to fully. Right? Your time, effort, energy, and or money, 110%. So you have to have this energy available to you, which of course means that you've got to find anything that might be taking your energy away, that's preventing you from giving this your full attention. Okay? You have to be, whether this is now a current situation, or if this is talking about your next one, or if it's talking about the previous one. It's part of the formula. You've got to make sure that your life is set up in such a way where you can devote yourself to it. Okay? If you want to get that experience, again, if you want to have the jackpot, the Wheel of Fortune, you've got to be able to put all your effort into the thing, whatever it is. Doesn't matter what it is. What matters is how and why you do it. And this is sort of the how. You do it maximum effort. That there's not a single part of you that's not focused on this thing. Whether it's an art project, a career thing, something to do with work, or some kind of, maybe you're doing music, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a particular adventure or a sport or a skill you're trying to learn. It doesn't matter. I think it's going to be different over time. It's going to change. You got to be able to put in all your effort. Yeah. And it has to be something that you feel passionately about. Yeah. And we have to understand our tendencies. We have to understand kind of who we are. And with the Three of Swords up there, it is kind of a, in a way, it's a restriction that we place on ourselves, because sometimes you might believe that only certain things make you happy. It's kind of a card really that's telling you not to put limits on yourself, not to create artificial boundaries of where you think your prosperity will lie. Right now, Spirit's saying, whatever you touch can turn to gold. You have to let yourself go outside the box of what your typical interests have been. And you have to discover, because see, the Knight of Cups is down beneath the surface. This is sort of hidden. So I wonder if consciously you're thinking, I'm really bored. There's really nothing out there for me. You know, and consciously we're kind of almost feeling a little bit pessimistic or a little bit melancholy, because this is above the surface. This is what you're consciously aware of. This is what you're unconsciously aware of. Could be that you're trying to find a way to use this formula, but you're kind of looking in the wrong places. And you're thinking, gosh, it's really dark and there's nothing out here. You're looking in a little tiny corner of the universe. Wonder if the mystery card will be the universe. Because the Knight of Cups is kind of hidden from you right now. And it may be that you have to look or keep looking around, look under different cushions, right? It's kind of like you lost your car keys. So you're looking in the couch cushions. Okay, it's not in the couch. And you look a couple other places. You go back to the couch, you're looking in the couch again. I think it's got to be here. It's around here somewhere, but it's obviously not in the couch. Why are you still looking in the couch cushions? You know it's not in there. Maybe you missed it the first few times, so you check again, sure. But eventually you realize that, okay, I have to expand my search radius a little bit. And that's what we're talking about here. You have to expand your search radius to find something that you feel passionately for or toward, and leap into it, basically. And leap into it and make sure, of course, that you're operating by this formula. The timing is right. You have the energy. The pressure is sort of equal, and things will really expand. Things are going to really turn to gold for you. Yeah. But we can't let ourselves be restricted. This is someone who is just looking in the couch cushions. We've already looked there 100 times. Okay? We have to search in other places. Let's talk about the path of the serpent. You have your Three of Wands, your virtue. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. The Three of Wands is that virtue energy, right? So this is the more objective way of looking at your life. This is the subjective. Both of these cards are very similar. Both of these cards are about your identity. Both of these cards are saying, you know who you are, you know why you're here. You know what you're made of. You know what you're capable of. And one of them is how you see yourself. The other one is how other people see you. It's very, very similar, right? So what it's telling me is that you have a very accurate perception of yourself. That you see yourself as a winner. You see yourself as a luminous being. You see yourself as a very joyous and capable, successful, healthy, vibrant, radiant star. And that's it. That's true, that you're not exaggerating yourself. That you're not arrogant. You're not just kind of puffing out your chest and saying, I'm so good, I'm so great. You really are that good and that great, but stay humble. Okay, stay humble. So the fact that these two cards are nearly identical, okay, is really confirming. It really is a blessing because it's telling me that you see yourself accurately. Your perception of yourself is right on, right? If you had to write a list of all of your best character traits, right, and then you asked, you asked a dozen people that know you to write down your best personality traits, pretty much you'd write down the same things. They would say the same things about you that you would say about yourself. Yeah. And so this Three of Wands, I think, is really awesome. It is that identity. It is the idea of making the right choices. You're someone who kind of who knows what the right thing to do is, even when it's challenging. Kind of like especially when it's challenging. I think you're the first person to raise your hand and volunteer for something. You're the one that kind of is eager to begin something that is going to. I feel like you're a little bit of a show off. Yeah, just a little bit, in the best way possible. It's because you know what you're capable of, and you like to do it. Right? You like to express your capabilities. You're not somebody that is really capable of a lot of great stuff, but like never shows out at all, never goes and does anything with life. An underachiever, right? You might be a slight overachiever, but that's okay. Okay? You're reaching a little bit beyond your capabilities, and that's perfect. Yeah, that really is perfect. Who's got the wings on their back? I don't know, is it a tattoo or is it like a costume or something? But Spirit's showing me wings on somebody's back. And I don't know if it's like a friend or a family member, a niece or something like that, a nephew. It's wearing some kind of wings, or if it's a tattoo or what it is, but there's wings on the back. Yeah. Anyway, this is a card that requires a little bit of humility as well. Yeah. But it's not that you're showing off necessarily, and like not in that kind of an arrogant way, but you're not hiding who you are either. You're stepping up. You're sort of like, it's not arrogance when you're actually capable of doing the thing that you're proclaiming you can do, right? You're saying, oh, I can leap over that building. Well, most of it, no, you can't. People are like, that's not, you're just being arrogant, right? But what if you really could? You're not lying, right? When you say you can do something, you're not lying about it. You're not going to exaggerate your capabilities. It may be, okay, well, maybe I'm not as good as jumping over the building as I may be, implying, but I can do it. Right? So if you're going to apply for a job, you're saying, yeah, I can do this work. But it's not pompous, it's not hubris, it's not arrogance, because you really can. Does that make sense? In the environment, Six of Wands, well, this is you proclaiming that you can and having a little bit of that pride that says, I can do it, whatever it is. And this is you actually doing it. This is the win. This is a victory. Okay? So we have the 3 and the 6, and I think it's so perfect. Yeah, it's so perfect. Because inside you believe that you're capable, and then this is you proving it. It's not arrogance if you can actually do the thing that you're boasting about. You don't want to be that kind of, you don't want to be a braggart, you don't want to be that boastful, but it's okay for you to acknowledge your best qualities, acknowledge your capabilities, and advocate for yourself or promote yourself. That's your energy right now. It feels very Leo to me. In fact, the 6 of Wands is Jupiter in Leo. So it is another warning about an inflated, right? Jupiter is this idea of expansion, and Leo is that kind of confidence. It's expanding your confidence. It's making you feel more confident, more capable, and believing in yourself more without going into the realm of arrogance and hubris. Okay? And of course, we see with our Princess of Swords a little bit of self-doubt, a little bit of like humility, because the Princess of Swords is the student, the perpetual white belt. It's almost like there's that little part of you that says, I don't know how to do it, but I can do it. So that's kind of a balance too, like the humility, right? The pride and the humility at the same time. It may be I'm humble enough to say, I don't know how to do this. I've never done that before. I've never seen that thing before. I don't know how to do it. But then the confidence is saying, I can do it. Not that I've already done it, I'm an expert, look at me, but like, I'm capable of learning how to do it, I can do it, but I have to, of course, I have to learn and study and practice and whatever it takes, right? So I like that we have that balance. That feels really good. This is also a card of investigation. This is a card of you out there in life looking around for what it is you want to do, how and where to apply your energy. Okay? You're curious. You're always trying to do new things. And especially when we have the formula of your success, we have the formula of your life here, and we're saying that we need to search around in other places, don't keep looking in the couch cushions, well, then you're going to be encountering things that you have never done before. I have not done this, but I can do it. And that to me is the perfect recipe. You got a recipe for success here. This is shocking to me, how cool this is. It's unbelievable. The Eight of Cups to me feels like what we're trying to avoid, and that's boredom. That's stagnation. We're trying not to let our black cloud kind of follow us around too much. We're trying not to let anything rain on our parade. But I think what we're doing here is we're understanding how we're repairing things. We're correcting our life. We're building our life up, building up our general happiness. See, the Eight of Cups is just one step away from a Nine of Cups. It's kind of like saying you've been on the mend, and there's just a little bit more time, and this is going to be a Nine of Cups. Maybe that'll be the mystery card. I think this is also kind of warning us against self-sabotage, hurting our own feelings, getting too bored or pessimistic about things. And I feel like it's kind of a fine line with you, that you're maybe easily demotivated, or that we have a tendency to be a little bit I don't know. I feel like you're prone to feeling blue sometimes. Okay, but I feel like if we follow this recipe, I feel like we have a good chance. You have a good chance of real success, real happiness, prosperity, and real expansion. It's part of the Jupiter energy too with the Wheel of Fortune, expanding your horizons, expanding your experience of the world, expanding your consciousness. I think you're consistently leveling up here. Follow the recipe, and your life's going to get better and better and better. Everything that you do with this formula is going to be gold. Is going to be gold. Yeah. I want to look at the mystery card. Empress, Six of Pentacles, maybe the Fool, maybe the Nine of Cups. I feel like some water energy would be pretty appropriate. Whether it's an ace, a 2, a 3, even a 4, a 6, a 9, or a 10. Yeah. If you have a prediction, put it in the comment section below the video. Let's see what we have. It's a 7. The 7 of Cups is, to me, it feels like these are goals that are too easy for you. These are the low-hanging fruit. Yeah. And maybe that's good. Maybe start with the low-hanging fruit to get a taste of the victory, get a taste of the win, get a taste of the success. Start with some of the easier things that you could do in life just to start building up your happiness and your confidence and getting into the flow. And then start reaching higher and higher for the really meaningful fruit. Yeah. I think that's good advice right there. Yeah. But you don't just want to get fixated on those low-hanging fruit, because eventually they're not going to mean anything. You're going to get bored. You're going to end up going to the Eight of Cups, which just, I don't even, So I feel that we start out here, and that's okay, just to get things going and to get ourselves feeling better and to get back in the swing of things, so to speak. But if we stay here too long, we get stuck here, then it's not going to feel good anymore, and we're kind of going in the wrong direction. So we have to push ourselves beyond our. This is something very glamorous, right? This is like that low-hanging fruit. It feels so good, and it feels so gratifying so quickly that it's easy to get stuck there. So we're thinking bigger. You're having aspirations, dreams, hopes, and wishes that are a little bit further out. They're going to mean more because it maybe is requiring more effort, and it's further beyond your reach. When things are too close, you can just say if your refrigerator was like right next to your bed, you wouldn't even have to get up. You just get your food right out. You don't even have to move. And you just you put the refrigerator in the kitchen. Then you got to get up. You got to walk. It takes a little bit more effort to get the reward, And I think that's what this card is implying. It's okay for now, as you're just starting again, let's say, to go after the low-hanging stuff. But eventually you start reaching for things that are further and further beyond your reach. Yeah, as you start to grow, so do your goals. Yeah, I like that. We're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, we'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Leo Mondays and Thursdays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you are watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.